Hey guys, it's your favorite Unc here. Go ahead and click that subscribe button below so you don't miss a single episode of Nightcap. That button right here. Come for the sports, stay for the stories. The Baltimore Ravens defeated the Pittsburgh Steelers by the score of 34-17. They clinch a playoff spot, move one game. Now they win. Pittsburgh lose. They take over sole possession of the AFC South. The two teams are tied atop the division at 10-5, heading into the final 2 weeks of the regular season. The Ravens stressed ball security all week, turning the ball over 19 times in the past 9 games against the Steelers. Today, it was the Ravens that forced the takeaways. They forced a pick six. Marlon Humphrey picked Russell Wilson after Minka Fitzpatrick had picked Lamar Jackson. And then Russell Wilson, I don't know why he didn't slide, because Russell normally slides, but
the fumble.
Got into a situation. He thought he could run the guy over, and the guy walloped him, and the ball popped out because Ocho, they're going in to score a touchdown. And now you don't even get any points out of that drive. They take the ball and go back down the field the other way. But the Ravens played really good today.
Very. But hold on.
Hey, Chad, did y'all notice anything today?
Hey, it is. There you go.
Did y'all notice anything today?
How many carries, Unc? How many?
24 carries, $162.
Woo.
24 carries. Now, guess how many throws Lamar Jackson had? 23.
Hey, one.
Oh, you can tell Unc just watched the highlights. Unc ain't watching no games. Unc has watched 1,000 games. And Unc understands how the game goes. That guy in the backfield makes the game a lot easier for Lamar. Because now he's shooting fish in a barrel. You know why? Because when he sticks that ball in that number 2 belly and he pulls it out, all of a sudden them safeties running downhill, because it's very hard to stop 6'2", 245 pounds with a light box.
It's coming downhill now. You want somebody that big. You want them going east to west. Now if they're going east to west, it's okay. You got a chance. But once he's coming downhill, man, listen. May God be with you.
But you know what, Ocho? They did something different. They did a lot of. They actually put him in the offset, and he did a lot of rolling back. Get the ball going one way, and he ran it back. But give that Ravens offensive line credit. They did an outstanding job today, because you talk about a team that gives up 94 yards a game rushing. And today, they ran the ball 38 times for 220 yards.
Yeah, really well. Listen, I'm not sure. I might be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ash. If anybody that can hear me in the back, I think Lamar against the Steelers, he might have been 1-3, maybe 1-4, something like that against the Steelers. Yeah. So this is one of his first times winning in convincing fashion in somewhat of a playoff atmosphere. This is what it would be like. This would be like, obviously, I wouldn't say you would be playing the Steelers, but still a game of this magnitude where everything needs to go right. Everything needs to go right. Yeah. Offensively, defensively, they play very, very well. And for Lamar, obviously, kudos to him as well. I think he has 37 touchdowns, passes he's thrown this season.
Yeah, I think he has 37 and another 3 rushing. So he has 40 touchdowns with 4 interceptions. He has a couple of fumbles, but he has fewer than 8 turnovers with 40 interceptions. Now everybody keeps saying with those numbers, y'all didn't say those numbers last year because Lamar Jackson had 23 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. Y'all said it was the record. Look at his team. Now y'all want to flip it because your guy got the better numbers, and y'all don't want to look at the record. So what are we doing? Is it record? Because y'all make it seem like Josh Allen got 22 yards passing. I just go by what y'all said, because last year when Lamar Jackson had 23 passing touchdowns, Ocho, and 8 interceptions, they said Lamar was the MVP because look at the record, Shannon. Isn't it about winning or is it about stats? I just want to know. Buffalo's record, is it about winning or is it about stats? I'm just asking, Chad. Y'all enlighten me.
It depends on who you ask. It depends on who you ask. No, your answer's going to change. Depending on who you ask, the goalpost's going to move too now. But, it all depends on who you ask.
Damn, the goal line. I mean, I thought the field was 100 yards. Y'all, it's 150 now. Damn, I wonder why I didn't score.
Can I ask you a question with an honest answer?
Yes, sir.
Hey, chat, y'all let me know also in the chat. If you had to pick today, if there was an MVP tomorrow for you, based on what they've done this season, I'm not sure I don't know how you gauge it. I don't know how you grade it. Who is your MVP? Be honest. Be honest with yourself. And, take the favoritism out. Even if it is your team, who's the MVP?
Yeah. Boy, that's tough.
It's
tough, man, because it's hard to ignore Lamar's
Yes,
season. Sir. The man has 37 passing touchdowns with 4 interceptions, and he's probably around, 4,000 yards? What he had, 30? Because he was like 3,700 yards. So he's going to be over 4,000 yards. Tell me you had Lamar Jackson passing for 40 touchdowns and 4,000 passing yards in a season when he got drafted. That wasn't on anybody's bingo card because a lot of people said he should move to running back or he should switch positions. And so not only is he going to have these numbers, he's a 2-time league MVP, a potential 3-time league MVP. Here's the problem that he's running into. We had this conversation on First Take. Is Lamar Jackson's career a failure if he doesn't win a Super Bowl? I said no. I said it's a disappointment because no other 2-time league MVP has failed to win a Super Bowl. And at the end of the day, that's the only thing that's left off this resume. Now, we can't change it because we like that, because we hold that against guys that don't win, especially, they say, well, you don't judge Josh Allen. Josh Allen ain't got no MVPs. Well, you don't judge Joe Burrow ain't got no MVPs. Justin Herbert ain't got no MVPs. So we have to judge Lamar because there's only 3 guys that got MVPs, regular season MVPs, that's still playing. Aaron Rodgers got 4 MVPs. He has a Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes got 3 Super Bowls, got 2 MVPs. He got 3 Super Bowls. So the only other guy that's playing in the league right now that has a league MVP
is Lamar.
Jackson. Lamar Jackson, Aaron Rodgers, and Patrick Mahomes.
Some people will be upset. Some people will argue the fact that Lamar Jackson is treated unfairly based on the standard in which we hold him to because of those MVPs. No. But that is the standard that we hold players to.
That's the standard,
once they achieve, something of that.
Thank you.
But people
I'm glad you say. I'm glad you're saying that what needs to be said.
But people don't see it that way, especially when it's a player you like, especially when you're a fan of said player. They're able to separate and compartmentalize it, and separate. Hell, okay, he had 2 MVPs, but still look at the season he's having. If he doesn't happen to win a Super Bowl, it's still okay to them.
Lamar Jackson has thrown for 12 more touchdowns than what he had last year with 2 games to play. He's already at basically 400 yards, 400 more passing yards than what he's thrown for last year. He was 25-5 last year. He won the MVP because they were 14-2. QBR, he was first in QBR last year. He's second in QBR this year. And I think what's going to hurt him, Ocho, is that he got a guy that's got 1,500 plus yards rushing in his backfield. They're going to look at this and say, hold on, Josh Allen lost Stephon Diggs. Josh Allen lost Gabe Davis. Josh Allen lost Micah Hyde, Poirier, Tre'Davious White. Von Miller was in and out of the lineup. So they're looking at all the pieces that he didn't have. And it says he got his team with the potential. Now, it's all going to be all for naught. If the Chiefs beat the Ravens, if the Chiefs beat the Steelers on Christmas, it doesn't matter because they'll be 15-1 with 1 game to play, and the Bills already have 3 losses. So it doesn't matter what would happen after that. So they would be, at worst case scenario, they finish 15-2, potentially 16-1 if they go beat the Broncos. But I see a scenario where Patrick Mahomes is not stepping on the field against the Denver Broncos if they win that game next week. So with that being said, I think it's very hard to ignore what Lamar is doing. But I think the thing is because Josh has been so spectacular in the national televised games, because we just saw him go on the road and do what he did at Detroit. And even on a losing record, he did something that hadn't been done in 70 years. He threw for 3 touchdowns. He ran for 3 touchdowns. And then we saw the guy run for a touchdown, catch for a touchdown, throw for a touchdown in the previous week. So it's going to be very, very hard for Lamar to overcome that. But it's a 2-man race. I thought it was a 2-man race the last 2 weeks of the 2 weeks. But Lamar is right there. And everybody's like, well, Josh Allen won the MVP last week when he went to Detroit and did what he did. I said, no, he didn't. I said, Lamar Jackson is right. Lamar Jackson is right there. And he absolutely 1,000% is right there. Derrick Henry, again, 24 for $162. Also, with that being said, Derrick Henry is an elite company with his 4th 1,500-yard rushing season, which only trails Barry Sanders, who has 5. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Barry finished his last season with 1498.
Okay.
And walked away. Because if I'm not mistaken, he played the Ravens. He had 1,500, and I think he got tackled for a loss. Oh, he played 1491? But he was in the Russian titles. He had the Russian title one. They asked Barry, did he want to go back in and win the Russian title? And he told him no. He said, I'm good. The Russian title, Ocho, let that sink in. He said,
listen, do you know the backstory behind that? I mean, the real backstory on why he said, you know what, I can't do this anymore. It got to be bad, man. It got to be bad.
Well, he felt like Barry was really close. They had all of a sudden they had gotten rid of Glover, who was one of his best friends, who was the center. He ended up going to Seattle. They had started moving pieces, and he didn't see them bringing the pieces in that help him compete for a title. He's like, I'm out here doing all this, but for what? So I walked away. And they thought by holding his money hostage and making him pay that, he was going to come out, Barry. I could be wrong, but when I look at Barry and I talk to Barry, Barry was good at football. I don't know if he loved football. His dad loved football, and he loved his dad. Because his dad always gave him that carrot to chase. He say, son, you good, but you ain't Walter Payton. You good, but you ain't Jim Brown. Because those are the guys that his dad grew up watching. And Barry was trying to get his dad's approval. I believe his dad he sincerely loved his son, but he wanted his son to chase that level of greatness. And he felt the only way that he could get him to do that was to tell him that he wasn't better. Mr. Sanders, I don't know. I saw Walter play. I never got a chance to see Jim play. But boy, you had to see this man play to appreciate just what you were watching. Because we had never seen anything like it, and you'll never see anything like it again.
Absolutely not.
He could play it. He could stop on one foot. He could stop playing with both feet. You don't see guys playing with both feet. I'm talking about hop, come to a stop, and take off again. If you average up the yards that he lost, he might have rushed for 20,000 yards. He rushed for 15,000. Let that sink in. He rushed for 15,000 yards in 10 seasons. No, I don't want to. I couldn't imagine Barry behind the Cowboys offensive line, a line that Emmett ran behind. I couldn't imagine him behind the offensive line that they got right now. No, it wouldn't be fair. How you gonna put him behind that? Oh, y'all want to see the man rush for 2,000 yards like 4 or 5 times, huh? It'd be like, man, come on, man. You gotta understand, like I said, he rushing behind that, but he was sensational. It is absolutely the MVP is a 2-man race. And I think whomever wins this race, if you make me bet money that means something to me, I would say Josh. But this would probably be the closest MVP vote that I can remember. It's gonna be probably somewhere between 5 and 10 votes to separate them. That's how close it's gonna be.
You think these last 2 games matter? These last 2 games are very important. How well they play.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, these last 2 games.
Who the Ravens got? The Ravens got the Texans. And who else they got? The Browns?
Who?
They got Texans on Christmas in Houston, and then they got the Browns at home.
What about the Bills?
The Bills got I think they got the Jets and the Patriots twice.
Listen, I know the Patriots aren't that well.
Oh yeah, they got the Patriots tomorrow. Tomorrow. Then they got the Jets in Buffalo, and then they got the Patriots again.
You know, the funny thing about it is I know the Jets aren't playing that well, the Patriots aren't playing that well, but these are divisional games, and Unc, you know how divisional games go. You know how they go. Ain't no telling what's going to happen because of the familiarity with the team you're playing, understanding their tendencies. It might go in the opposing favor, but I would love to see Josh Allen have a good game. As far as a 3-time MVP, I would love to see Lamar Jackson win it as well. But what Josh Allen is doing, being able to put on that cape, to lose some of the things around him, to be given the keys to that team, to be given the keys to that organization, and uplifting that team without superstars surrounding him is awesome. And I don't think people understand how difficult it is to be able to do what Josh Allen is doing without someone you can actually count on, close your eyes and know, you know what? I can go to him and know he's going to be there for me every time. It's been a collective as a group. Collectively,
Yeah. It's Holloway, it's Shakira, it's those two tight ends. It's it's Kincaid, it's Knox. James Cook has done a great job of running the football. He's done a great job of catching it out of the football. But everything starts and stops with that big big quarterback. That big, I think he's number 17, right? 17. Isn't that Josh Allen's number? Yeah. And it starts and stops with him. And you find out where you like. And the thing is, Ocho, 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, you know you're gonna get them quarterback power. He gonna run over most people. If it's not a defensive tackle, he running his ass over. Linebackers, you not gonna stop him. And he done got ahead of him.
You have to think about it now. When you think about Josh Allen, his size, he basically is a linebacker. He's the same size as today's linebacker.
He's a defensive end.
Today's linebackers are much smaller. Much smaller, sideline to sideline, being able to cover. Listen, the linebackers today don't look like Ray Lewis. They don't look like Brian Urlacher. So it's different. The damn quarterbacks are the same size.
You got to be able to cover it. You got to be in space now, man.
Yeah, you got to be able to move.
So that's going to be very interesting. But the Ravens clinch a playoff spot. I think that's John Harbaugh 6 times in the last 7 years. We know what Harbs is, but they got Ocho at some point in time. They got to put it together now. Lamar Jackson keep having MVP seasons. You get Derrick Henry to take some of the pressure off him. You got to go far. It's not good enough to get to the AFC Championship game again. You got to go far. You got to go far.